Woo! We're here. I'm so excited, y'all, for this chat. Mxiety is such a leading force in this industry and does so much amazing work. And I'm so excited to have you on the Tiltify channel. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a huge honor, and I've been super super excited just in general since we talked about it, since before we talked about it. I'm super stoked. Thank you.
No, thank you. But welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this lovely evening of Thursday. We're going to be chatting about mental health and content creation and burnout and so
All the
much
things.
more.
All the
All the
things.
things, all the things, all the things that Mxiety is good at talking about. Okay. So we were just talking about cravings and sweet treats, and I got a pink drink from Starbucks with some heavy whipping cream. Okay. You got to add it in there. All right.
Oof.
And it's like strawberry ice cream. It's
Oh my
chef's
god.
kiss. It is so good. It is
It's
so good.
over. It's
Oh my.
over.
I'm gonna buy you a Starbucks gift card so you can order one.
You might
Order it.
yeah, you don't have to do that. I will be ordering it regardless, so you do not have to do you
I'm
do
I wanna buy it for you because I think you deserve a treat.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Don't we
anxiety
all? Don't we all? Like,
yeah,
seriously.
we all deserve a
Yeah,
sweet treat,
that's right, that's right. And then,
right?
like, liquids are what for whatever, like, streamer Twitter thinks liquids are okay to consume on stream, right? Compared to, like, eating, that one's iffy. So, yeah, yeah.
I have a croissant right here, chat. If you see me eating it, you
Suck
see
it.
me eating it.
It's because 'cause
I
I'm hungry.
exactly. If you're hungry, you eat on your stream, and if
That's
someone
right.
comes to your stream and they tell you, "Ew, why are you eating? This isn't professional." Well, this isn't the stream for you.
Yeah, it sounds
Well,
like you need to go on a stream where somebody's not eating right now, which there are literally millions of. Enjoy your ride. Yeah, yeah,
have a good time. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, you need this. You need
Mhm,
this. I'm getting
mhm.
it for you. I'm getting it for you. You're gonna
Oh
order
my
it
goodness.
in the morning, okay? And I want you to
Stop.
give me a review, okay?
Oh my god, stop. Oh my god, my heart. Oh, this just everything is like top. So I don't know who knows who's watching it, but I'm pregnant. So like every food item right now, I went from like hating all food to like everything sounds amazing and I want it all the time. So this
Oh
is it's
my
perfect.
gosh. Thank you, Izzy. I just did my makeup. I did my
Yeah.
makeup for you all and M, so I hope you appreciate it.
Right back at you. Right back at but mine is not like the fire that I'm seeing on that's amazing.
No, you look amazing. I'm telling you, it's the headset, your headband, your
Oh,
shirt.
right.
I
Right.
love bright colors, like, it's a perfect accent to the look. Chef's kiss.
The the
Love it.
day I figured out that I could keep I was like, "Oh, no, I got this amazing headset and it matches, like, all my colors," right? And I
Yeah,
was like, "Well, I have to wear this headset, but I also am not gonna stop wearing my headband," and, like, the day I figured out I could do both, I was like, "I'm doing both. I'm gonna rock both," and it
exactly.
hasn't been yeah, that's just how we do. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But thank you, Izzy. Thank you.
Aw,
A
Izzy,
little
so
pink.
sweet.
I wanted to do more to the eyeshadow. I might later. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
you could always up it a notch. You don't have to. It looks gorgeous. I like
Thank you.
the corner eye situation.
My
Gorgeous.
little signature, my little gold inner corner. Yeah, it never
Love
fails
it.
me.
I love it.
Just a little
It's
hint.
because it always like, let's be honest, but a part of the reason is because it always makes you look awake. I'm not implying that you look tired or anything. I am saying, though, when I am tired, put a little white or yellow in there, and you look
Yes.
bright and yeah, great,
Mhm.
great, great,
I
great.
what I wanna start doing is the white eyeliner on the bottom lid, you
Yep,
know?
yep. That's
I'm
another
scared
hack.
of sticking my bottom
Yep.
lid. I'm so scared of it. I'm like,
Oh,
"Ah,
you
it's
can't you're
messy."
like, well, you could start by going, like, right underneath, right? And then make
Yeah,
your
I
way it's scary putting a pencil in your eye. It's so funny, like,
know.
I've tried to talk my partner into it and been like, "Let me just do your makeup one time," and he's like, "How did this many things come up to your eye all the time?" And you're just, like, okay with them.
Right,
But yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Oh my gosh.
We
Yep.
are so off topic, this is perfect. This is
No,
exactly
this
what
is
streaming with
perfect.
me
This
is like.
is this is what, this is what we're all about, relationship building and having a good time, you know? So,
Beautiful.
I am all about these conversations, girl. So, we're on topic in my book, okay?
Perfect, perfect, perfect. As long as you say so, then yeah, this is perfect. This is
Yes,
amazing.
we're good. And let's welcome in some folks. Sugar Moon, hi. Izzy, thank you for
Hi.
being here. And Chief Keef and Wex Majors, welcome in. Hello, hello. Um, Also, Wex, you had put a comment in. Is this where I go to learn about Kingdom Hearts? About that, I have not played a single Kingdom Hearts game.
Well, yesterday I did a stream with somebody where like their whole talk show is about having somebody explain something that they're really, really passionate about to you. And
Oh,
Kingdom Hearts is that for me. And Wex was there yesterday because she's lovely. And so that's I think that's where that's coming from. But if you ever need somebody, if you have like 3 hours to do nothing, which we all do, and you just want me to talk about Kingdom Hearts at you, you
okay.
know,
I,
I'm your
you
gal.
know,
I'm right there.
maybe that's the next stream.
There you go.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
done. Yes. Yeah, actually this is so interesting. The last stream I had of my personal channel, my chat was yelling at me, "Why aren't you playing Kingdom Hearts?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know which one to play. What is the 1.5, the 2 point this to that?" And then they explained it. I was like, "Oh, okay.
Okay.
Remaster. Okay. Play
Maybe, yeah.
this one. Got it." So one of these days you will see me do my first playthrough. So
I'll be rooting for you. I'll be rooting, and then you'll probably need somebody to re-explain what the hell is happening, and I'll be there for that as well, don't worry. We'll
yes,
walk you
you
through it.
did send it to me, and I did not watch it because
Yeah.
that was when, I went on my trip, so I still need to watch it. We just need to have a stream of me watching that video because I believe you sent it to me and it's like
They're
20
at least
minutes
30
long.
minutes. Yeah, yeah, all the recap videos are I mean, it's a lot of lore, so I don't blame it, but they're all like 20, 30. It's a commitment, basically.
Okay, but it's worth it. It's worth
Oh,
it,
of
so I'm not
course.
going in there blindsided, so definitely on my list, Izzy. So, first off, introductions. We're just talking about makeup and food and stuff. But if you don't know who Anxiety is, let's get to know her a little bit. Of course, you know who I am. I am Ashley, also known as Miss Ashrox. I'm Tiltify's community manager. I get to talk to cool people like M. And I love my job. I love sharing people's stories and their content creation journeys. And of course, talking about topics that are very important to me. And of course, for this industry, like mental health. So I'm super excited for today's chat. Anxiety, can you tell us a little bit about you and your content creation journey and all the different roles you have in this industry?
It's yeah, it's more I think it was funny once I came back after hiatus. I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of adjectives at the end of what I do." So
Yes.
I guess yeah, which is really cool to be able to reflect on. I think a lot, you kind of are always running forward in this industry and always trying to see like what else can I do? What else can I do? Stopping and being like, "Oh, there's a lot like already behind me." Give yourself a second, give yourself a pat on the back. I don't think people do that enough. Um, but thank you for that. That's very sweet. So, okay, the rundown is I am not a doctor and I don't play one on live Twitch. What I do is my goal with the community is to share my story. And by sharing my story, what it's like living with depression, anxiety, and ADHD, and then just like existing in the world space as it is right now, my goal is to hopefully kind of create a space where you can learn to be kinder to yourself as I'm on that journey to do the same thing. And in the process of learning and figuring things out and how to be a better human every day, hopefully you can also spread that to other people. And that's where Be the Light comes in. Oh, which I realize is cropped out. You can't see. But anyway, Be the Light is the motto in our stream. And it's this idea that, like, sometimes things suck. So if you can make something a little bit brighter for somebody else, and it's not super original. It's just be the change you want to see in the world, right? Be the light that you feel like is missing from the world. Start that cascade of kindness that so often is just like missing from everyday conversations. So that's our goal. What actually happens on stream? Before I went on hiatus, we did weekly interviews. Now the stream is just once a week. So not any interviews yet, but we're getting there. And then we pick like a topic that's pretty broad and we just kind of like dissect it. And I had this little moment today where I realized it was very much kind of like reading a Reddit AMA thread or like a Reddit like explain like I'm five thread where we go through and just like, what is this? Why do I feel like this? Why do I think about this thing? And why does that make me feel weird or not good about myself or whatever it is? And so that's the show. And then on top of that, um, it is whatever the heck, there's a lot of like I make random noises, so you can come for that. Sometimes we do play games. Yeah, and then obviously there's fundraising involved and getting to hang out with amazing other creators, either in the process of fundraising or just hanging out. And anyway, yeah, I guess that would be it's fairly focused in like the talk show space, but focus is a very broad term for me. So
Oh,
if yeah, if you were to try to narrow it, I guess it would be more a talk show than anything else, but it's a lot of things. And I think that's it for now because I realize it's been like 2 minutes since I took a breath of air. So
Yes, please breathe. All right. Take your time. And, there's just so much good that you do. I mean, you can
Oh,
talk this entire hour about all the good that you do in this industry. And I just want to let you know
gosh.
you are making such an impact in even
Oh
my
no.
life personally with your positivity and the work you do. And you take the time to be a light to us in the industry. So you are all about your branding. Be the light. You are the light in this industry. And
Oh
I
my.
just love that you dissect conversations and you're real about it. So that's why we have you on today. And for your amazing fundraising, you have raised over $10,000 for charities. How does that
Cool.
feel?
That's cool. It's really easy to be like, "Not enough." That's how I feel because that's definitely the first part that pops into my head of like, "People've done better. What are you doing? You're slacking." And then the other part of it is like, that's really freaking cool because just like, you've probably hopefully heard other people say, every penny counts. So whether you did, $10 at a time in little increments, or you do the whole 10,000 in one stream, that's money that that nonprofit would not have had without the effort and time and love that you put into raising awareness for them. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
with
Yeah,
your community, with
that's
your
right.
community that
That's
you
right.
cultivated.
That's right. Of people who it's really interesting stepping back from the space and being so nervous. So I took a hiatus in October, between October and the end of March. I took a hiatus because I had burnt the heck out into a crisp. And stepping back and really having a moment to reflect on the community and recognize that I think it was the first time that I gave myself credit for the fact that, like, yeah, your community really is a reflection of you. And if you keep it, positive and kind and thoughtful, and you give that to people, that's who's going to pull towards you. And in that break, in that time, uh, I just I was able to kind of take some of that for myself, like from the community. I feel like being a streamer, it's a lot, putting out a lot of effort to help other people to do what you can to brighten someone's day, right? And so seeing my community and how they responded to my needing a break and everything was very kind of like it refilled my cup. That's yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Like it was very
Yeah,
much, oh cool, you do get back what you put in. And in this case, I happen to be able to be surrounded by incredible people because that's what I really, really wanted. And now I get to sit back and be like, yeah, these are really cool people and they care about me as much as I care about them. And
yeah.
it's an amazing feeling. It's truly one of a kind, and I think that's what makes, like, Twitch and just live content creation so, so different than anything else.
And I wanted to ask you, how did you communicate with your community that you needed a break? Or did your community see that you needed a break? They saw your burnout.
Both. Both. I wonder if anybody, like, I don't know if my mods are in here, but there was a point that I got to where my mods are like, "We're banning you from your stream for the day, so try to come on because 'cause we'll ban you." Uh, so there were definitely moments, those were important moments where I was like, "Okay, I understand that, my community cares about me because I try to cultivate a space where people care about each other." But if it's getting to the point where they're like, "Girl, you're not looking so hot. Maybe it's time to step, really step back."
Take a
Like,
break.
right, right, and it's amazing that they, they cared enough to say that, and it was all like a joke, right? We all talk about, like, how our mods troll us and everything, but it's
Yeah,
a whole nother thing to also maybe take a second to reflect on that and be like, if people have to joke about that with you, maybe they're sensing a little bit something, and having the trust, with my mods to be able to be like, am I this is because I'm not doing enough, right? That's what it is. And the whole mod chat being like, no, not no, you need to cool it. And so I don't think I expected it to be 6 months, but I definitely got myself the point of burnout at which I was definitely I don't know if I'll come back. I don't know if I'll ever feel joy creating content the same way again. And so the fact that I had a community that was willing to give me the grace to be able to take that step and figure out whatever that meant for me is oh my god, that's mind-blowing. That's truly, I think, a streamer's dream come true to have people in your space that have your back like that. So yeah, no, it was definitely many, many moments of me being like, "I am burnt out. I can't do this. This is too much." And then feeling safe, feeling like whatever was gonna happen well, first of all, I was too burnt out to be able to not take a break at that point. Like, it was whatever happens, I don't care, burn it all. Like, burn it all. I don't wanna see it anymore. But
Yeah.
also knowing that I did feel that, like, safety of the of the people of my community being like, "Look, I don't think anybody promised me that, like, we'll be here forever or anything like that, but it was more like, whatever is going on, you have to take care of it, so you need the space to take care of it, and just that safety reflected back to me that's what did it. That was the kind of the final straw of like, "Okay, yes, I have permission?" Is that weird? Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
best way I think to describe it.
Every streamer feels like they need permission to take a
Yeah,
break.
yeah,
Which is fine because, your community, you don't want them to forget about you. We always have that voice in the back of our head. Please don't forget about me. I don't want to take a break. I have to be consistent. No, take a break. Take a break. You can overwork yourself so easily. And
yeah,
I've been at that point so many times,
yeah.
probably at that point now. So,
Oof, oof. Oh my
but
god, my heart.
yeah,
Um,
but it's, oh my gosh, even when we have these conversations and we give advice, or share our experience, we still don't take our own advice sometimes.
no,
You
no, it's
experienced
not the same. It's not the same to hear somebody else say it and to fully internalize it yourself.
yeah.
2 very different things of like, "Okay, I'm ready, because you could have a ton of you could have a ton of people who care about you being like, "Hey, you seem like you're stressed out," and you're like, "No, that just means I need to work harder," and it's so easy to justify to yourself when you hear other people being like, "Oh, when you're burnt out, it's okay to take a break," and you're like, "For you, not for me, though. I need to work harder," and it's yeah, you could just continue down that spiral of feeling worse and worse, frankly, which sucks,
Yeah.
once you fall into burnout, climbing out of it is a multi-step process, which I don't think a lot of people realize. I think, like, burnout isn't, "I'm gonna take 4 days, and that's gonna fix the 6 months of overworking I've done." Burnout is and it of course, everybody's different, and the severities for everybody's different, but generally, burnout is I just cannot function at the rate that I've been functioning right now, and something has to give. And I need time to figure out what the heck that is and basically kind of starting emotionally with yourself from square one to figure that out, which is also not easy.
Yeah. And I wonder, how do you take that first step? I think that's been my difficulty myself, like finding myself emotionally, understanding my thoughts. So I did have therapy last year to help me better understand myself because I could understand everybody's emotions
Oh,
except
of course.
I'm like,
Of course.
what am I thinking right now? I don't understand this. What's happening?
Right.
And just on the topic of burnout, when do you know you're burned out? I think that's the question that everybody
Yeah.
asks. Um, it's kind of difficult to answer too. For my own experience, I would say when I'm not finding joy in doing the things that I love. And it's hard to realize it, but when you're you're typing in that going live post tweet and you're like, I can't do this.
I don't want to be doing this.
I
Yeah.
don't want to be doing this, and it happens for multiple days, consecutively. You're like, okay, I need to take a break. I need to take
Yeah.
a break.
Yeah.
Even talking about fundraising, you know, that's my job. I talk about fundraising with every different creator and talking with different charities. You're like, why don't I want to talk about this right now?
Yeah.
Burnout.
Yeah.
So that's why we started incorporating chats like these with anxiety, just chatting. We're chatting about fundraising too, but we're also chatting about content creation, mental health, other topics that are important to us and that we care about and we're passionate about. So you got to find a balance. It's hard, you guys. It's so hard. It
It
is so hard.
is very hard. And I,
Personally, yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. No, 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 no,
No,
please, I wanna
what
hear your
I'm
story.
gonna say is gonna be excellent, and I feel it.
Another thing, I had an amazing, amazing one of my last streams, one of my last interviews was with Anita Sarkeesian, and I'm not just throwing names around, I swear, I love her to death, and, she, um she was like another I had already at that point decided that I was definitely taking a break, but
Yeah,
seeing somebody like that in the industry talk about their experience taking a break and how she was actually like taking a week off right after our stream or 2 weeks actually, and she was talking about how she managed that with her team and making sure, things are covered while she's gone and all that stuff. And it is I think it's extremely important for us to be hearing these stories from other creators because, it's not even, you mentioned before, you're a person and it's okay and you get tired, but I don't even think the problem and the fear that I have, at least, my anxiety, it doesn't come from other people. Like, I have my community that I feel safe in. I had amazing conversations with several creators, Anita just being kind of the last in a line of amazing people who was like, "No, here's how you take breaks. It's totally doable. You just have to set up these things and contingencies." And so you need, first of all, to hear it from somebody you admire to feel like, okay, if they could do it, then it is okay for me to do it, right? That permission thing that we talked about. And the other thing, most of recognizing now, most of my anxiety about taking a break was not people related, it was algorithm related. That's the bots are who don't understand. The robots, like, where how often you show up on Twitch's recommended stuff, how often your tweets show up on Twitter, right? Like we've all we're many of us have, I'm sure, experienced the thing that I know I experienced where I try every Saturday to unplug. Um, and so I might not be sitting on Twitter as much as I am like while I'm at my desk and refreshing and whatever, having it on in the background, right? And I'll probably maybe send a tweet, maybe I won't send a tweet. And then the next day you post stuff and Twitter's already like, we've moved on. And it's, like, recognizing that it's really even not the people, but the robots who don't understand that you're a person, because I get it, like, Twitter's business is your content and promoting your content. If you're not making your, content, you're bad for business. Same thing for Twitch. Same thing for every algorithm out there, social media related or otherwise. And so it was kind of also coming to terms with maybe depersonalizing it, because I think a lot of the fear of taking a break felt personal to me, that and you mentioned this, or I'm going to be forgotten. People aren't going to care about what I'm doing. I'm going to be important. And taking a moment to reflect on that, and that also was I did that also in therapy, where I thought about people who had taken a break, and yes, some of them have totally fallen off the face of the earth. Absolutely, that definitely happens. We're not going to pretend
Woo.
that that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Uh, but I thought about other people who've taken a break either because they were burnt out, or because they, wanted to take time to focus on their family or whatever it was. And I never sat back and judged them for it and was like, well, I'm never talking to this person again. They might as well have done, like, that's not something that I do. So why would I think other people would do that? And then if people are doing that about me, are those people I want in my space anyway? Like, how much of a friend or somebody who cared about me were they anyway? If it took for me to be like, hey, I need time off, and they're like, well, you might as well have fallen off the face of the earth. Good luck. So I reflected kind of like, what do I want to see? And how do I act? And then how do I expect other people to act? And just recultivating the space and depersonalizing it from like, this is about me versus, yeah, I'm probably not going to show up in people's feeds on Twitter if I don't tweet 3 times every day. That's not my fault, and it's actually not even their fault. It's just how it works.
Yep.
And so, yeah, removing myself a little bit out of the equation that's like, it's my fault. It's because I'm not important. It's because nobody cares about taking all of those, negative connotations away from it. And then saying, okay, but like, what do I actually like? I keep asking, how is this going to affect everybody else? How is this going to affect me? Well,
Yes.
maybe I won't feel terrible anymore. And I'm overdue for that. So let's focus on that.
Yeah, I think, oh my gosh, that is just a day in and day out struggle of every content creator.
It is a lot of us. Yeah.
It's me. What am I doing wrong? What is going on? This tweet went out. Why didn't people see it?
Yep.
I have 15,000 followers. Why did only 300 people see it in
Yep.
3 hours? It's
Yep.
just it's a game, and it's a game that can really cause harm to you if you
Yep.
don't try to find a balance.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, okay? It's just not your fault.
It's not always
It's
your
just not.
fault, but it's just so easy to blame yourself. I don't know how it is for you, but for me, I'm right here. I am a great punching bag, easily accessible. I can blame myself for everything and nobody can prove me wrong. You
Exactly.
know? So,
Yep.
why didn't the tweet succeed? Because I suck, because it was stupid, because people hate me, because any reason that kinda hits me over the head with things I don't like about myself, instead of
Mhm.
reflecting and forcing to reflect on the world. And then there's other things, like, frankly, if Twitter has put you in a box that is, very streamer news oriented, and then you tweet about how much you really like Disney movies, which I do, that audience is like, "Okay, good for you," but that's not,
Yeah.
and so it's hard to think about those things. It's a lot easier to be like, "No, it's because I suck." It's an answer. It's a really quick, easy answer,
Well,
and
it's easy.
unfortunately, it
Yeah,
hurts
it's easy
you.
to rag on yourself. It's so
Yeah,
easy to do it. And
yeah.
like Izzy said in chat, I have a fear that I'm shadow banned some days. Yeah,
Oh my
same.
god. Literally every day. Once a day, I'm like, "Oh, today's the
Positive,
day." Today's the
no,
day.
positive things that are motivational or, good for the community in your audience, you get shadow banned.
Oh,
I
totally.
just it's speaking of these robots, they just attract to drama and
Yeah.
trauma, drama and trauma.
Well, let me give you some tea. So, having worked at a major media corporation, what I can tell you, and knowing just what I know about mental health without, again, pretending that I know more than I do, the way that a lot of your feed works is it waits for you. You don't even have to interact with the tweet. It waits for you to, like, take a pause over things, and it interprets that as much as it interprets, you liking and retweeting and actual actions you take. So, if you're constantly, if your trending comes up and you're always clicking on whatever's happening with Kim Kardashian, Twitter's like, "Yo, she loves learning about Kim Kardashian. She might not tell people, but she's clicking on it, so that means she's on our site for longer, so I'm gonna keep showing her that." So, all of those, any actions you take are meant to, like, suck you back into it and keep you going. And that is the same reinforcement for, in general, negativity psychologically through our evolution is something that our brains are trained to pay more attention to. What do you need to remember more? The apple tree you went to that you had food poisoning from, or the delicious tasty apple tree? You probably need to remember both, but the one that is, poisonous and not good for you, you're probably gonna be really, really paying more attention to make sure, "Hey, did this apple, it really looks tasty, but is this an apple that looks like the apple from that awful apple tree?" And I know that sounds like a little oversimplifying it, and I'm sure there's somebody who's an anthropologist right now who's screaming at me because it is oversimplifying it, but it's true. And so when we see, you know, drama and intrigue and things that relate to people's lives, it's really easy. You think you're just reading it, you think you're not interacting with it, you think, "Hey, I'm just going to look through it, like I'm curious, and then what happens? And then what happens?" And Twitter knows that, and it's going to keep getting that for you. And so the harder part, and actually Wex Majors who's in chat right now, was one of the people who taught me. She explained, she's like, "You have to cultivate your trending on Twitter by not reading stuff that, like, you generally know does not make you feel good." And that is a lot
Wow.
harder than it seems, because on the surface, I don't talk about, the like, I don't care what happens in the Kardashians' lives, like, that's not something that I live on a day-to-day basis talking about at all, right?
Right.
But
Mhm.
I do click on it when it's trending, and then I stopped clicking on it, even though I was like, "Oh, I do wanna kinda know," and I stopped clicking on it. 2 days later, no more Kardashian news. Doesn't take a long time, but
Wow.
it's wild. You train the algorithm as much as it trains you, and that's my soapbox for this stream. I'm off of it now.
Wow, it's just a shock value that draws you and you're like, "Wait,
Yeah,
what happened? Wait,
yeah,
what happened? Wait, what's going on?" Oh
yeah.
my gosh. I didn't think about that because
It's
'cause I'm
good for
definitely
you. It's good for you to know the bad stuff because you then
yeah,
know to avoid it, but also
that's
it's
what you're
good for
gonna
the
see
algorithm.
over and over.
Yeah.
You're gonna see it over and over. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot
Oh,
of people feel maybe disempowered by that, but like my reminder is, again, you train the algorithm as much as it trains you. So what you're putting out, what you're looking, what you're not all of that still counts. Whatever you scroll past, all of that still gets memorized. Okay, that all being said, algorithms all aside, I'm not sitting here pretending that I know how the heck Twitter works, because I don't know why I see tweets from, other people who I haven't ever interacted with, or why, like, I talk to somebody every day and interact with other tweets and then suddenly they do disappear from my feed. I hate all that crap. I don't actually know how it works, other than I do understand how, like, media is created, having had to write medical media for a while, which it
mhm,
is literally made to, like, for you to think, "Oh my god, if that's wrong with me, I need to learn about the solution," and so it's all the same. It's all the same pot.
wow. Learned a lot today, chat.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but also not sorry, I don't know.
no, no, this is good stuff. This is good stuff, like,
Now
woo,
ask
hello.
me, Ash, if I follow my own advice every time and am perfect and always scroll past all the bad media and never read the ask, come on. Come on.
We all
I
do
just
it.
wanna make clear, I'm not on a high horse here.
No, we all do it. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Wait, what's going on with this person? Why
yeah,
did this happen?" We
yeah,
all do it, and
yeah.
it oh my gosh. Same with TikTok algorithm, you know?
Oh,
I
yeah!
think
Oh my
the
gosh,
amount of
yeah.
time you're watching a video, that's how it cultivates your For You page.
Yep, yep, yep,
Literally, literally,
yep.
my For You page is everything I like, and I'm so happy about that, you know?
Oh, yeah, and then you're on TikTok for an hour and you're like, "What happened?" Because every video is a minute and you've watched 60 videos, and that means it's been an hour. There you go. Yeah.
Exactly. Wow. Mm, and
Mhm.
woo, I learned a lot, but
I'm
going back
sorry.
to no, 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 this is so good, and don't worry about it. This is so good. Good content, and
I
good
feel like it's better to know, right? Like, it's a little conspiracy theory, a little knowledge, I don't know. If anything, it's good to talk about, because what if somebody comes into chat and is like, "You are so wrong. Actually, here's how it works," and then we learn something else. Like, I'll take all of
exactly.
it. I'll
It's
take all of
important, but that makes sense. That makes logical sense
it. Yeah.
because we all doom scroll. We
Oh,
all do it.
the stuff that just happened politically, I
Yeah,
I I know how it works, and I still, like, I'm scrolling trying to be like, "Alright, if I keep scrolling, somebody's gonna say something positive. Somebody's gonna say psych. Somebody's gonna say, 'Everything's fine, never mind,'" That's what my brain is looking for, and it's not seeing it, and it's like thirsty for it. That sounds weird,
yeah.
but yeah,
No, yeah, totally
that's
agree.
literally doom scrolling, yeah.
Oh, so chat, we learned a little bit about algorithms and doom scrolling and everything. And we touched a little bit on burnout and
Yes.
finding a balance and I want to talk a little bit more about that. Like, how
Yes,
do
yeah,
you
let's circle back.
find a balance with okay, we're going to kind of revert back here because you said you were burnt out.
Yep.
You were burned out for months. What do you think led to your burnout? Were you overworking yourself or just work in general? Just, you were just tired of it and you needed a break from it.
So, um, while burnout is not a medical diagnosis, it is occupational burnout specifically is recognized by the World Health Organization as a as something that can happen to you. I don't want to use the wrong word. It's either a syndrome or a symptom, and I don't want to use the wrong term, but like it is a recognizable thing in the medical field, even though it's not an official diagnosis. Like you can't get medication, and you can't go get treatment for burnout, but
Correct.
uh, in that definition, basically the idea, the oversimplified, I know again somebody's really mad at me, but the oversimplified way to describe burnout is basically spinning your wheels and getting nowhere, right? It's revving your engine, but your car's stuck in the mud and nothing's happening. And so at first you might be really, really determined to get out of the mud. And you're like, no, I'm gonna keep putting in effort. Eventually this car's gonna move. And it just it doesn't, or it does, but it's so incremental that it's, like, just enough to feed you and give you that hope that you're gonna get out, and you don't. So, a lot of aspect of, a lot of the biggest function of burnout is continuously putting in a lot of effort into something that isn't giving you back the same amount. So for some content creators, what that means is, you know, I have a full time job. And on top of that, I am also going to put in 20 plus hours live. And on top of that, I still need to, cultivate an online persona so people know who I am and brand and all those fancy things. So I have to do all of that while pretending this is my only occupation. And then you don't know what the reward for that is, right? We're talking about algorithms and I'm, putting your tinfoil hat on. Twitch discoverability is notoriously pretty terrible. So you could be spinning your wheels and putting in all this effort to try to get discovered and try to be seen, and it's not even like your viewers are a number to you, or I only care if more than 40 people are watching me or anything like that. It's more like I feel like I'm putting in as much effort as so and so who has 100 people watching them, but I'm not getting the 100 people coming to my stream. And it's not about how many bodies are watching me. It's about if I'm not getting 100 people coming into the stream, I'm not able to get sponsors. If I cannot get sponsors, then I cannot make this sustainable for myself. If I cannot make this sustainable for myself, I've just spent 20 hours putting in work, hoping that maybe eventually this will be my full time job, or hoping that I can, take this to the next level. However, and not getting there. And all of those things, while super, much of a bummer to think about, are true. And um as much as it is extremely important to value the people who come into your stream, who spent precious minutes and hours of their life watching you of anything that they could be doing. It's also just as important to recognize that, you're putting in 20 hours of work and then getting 5 hours of payment for that work. And that part, no matter how altruistic you are, that does eventually get to you, right? It does. It's why can't I make this more than I want it to be? And so for me, that was a moment to self-reflect of why did I want this way? What strategies was I implementing that clearly were not working? What were my expectations of all the platforms that I was on versus what they could give me or what I was getting back? And those are, I think that while you can take a second and think about those questions, over a weekend and see where that gets you, I don't think they're so simple that you'll get your full answer. I do think I needed months and months to reflect on all of that, and basically after 4 years of working nonstop and having 2 jobs, being able to sit back and reflect on, like, what worked, what didn't work, what matters to me intrinsically versus what I can get, right? That's another thing. Like, you can put in all the effort in the world, but again, if you're sitting in mud, you're sitting in mud. Like, the mud's gotta dry, the mud's gotta do something. It's still gonna be mud tomorrow. And so and that's I also think, like, it's important to recognize that, like, that's okay. It's important to recognize, here's what I need, here's what matters to me, here's what the space can give me, here's what it can't give me, here's where I need to be reassessing my values, and, like, it's not a I think people also will look at it very black and white, like, I either get what I need or I don't get what I need, and I'm putting in all this work and I'm not getting back. But I think it's more important to reflect on, like, I know I've repeated this several times, but what do I feel good about putting out versus what I am getting? Like, realistically, just realistically looking at the situation and seeing, what can I get? And so, the way I was able to come back was reevaluating what streaming meant to me, where it fit in my life, what I wanted to do, and what I was not willing to compromise until, I reevaluated again. Um, and so I came in with a lot healthier of a, I think for now, with a lot healthier of an outlook of, like, just a little bit more realism, right? Here's what I can give. Here's what that will get me. Here's what that definitely won't get me. And that's okay. It doesn't need to be anything it isn't. And I will reevaluate if I want something else out of it. Sorry, that was another long one.
Oh, oh. Don't be sorry. And that took 6 months, and this
Yeah.
can be the time that it takes to do that can be different for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, it doesn't happen overnight, I will say that. It takes some time, and like I said, I had therapy last year. Would
Mhm.
love to have it again, so I'm gonna sign up again. But anyway, last year, it helped me understand my emotions and how I'm feeling and what I wanted in life.
Yeah.
Um, and it helped me figure out my goals and how to go through those paths of my goals in a healthy way. Still working on it. I know what I need to
Oh.
do. I just need to listen to myself, take my own advice, and do the things.
That's the hardest. That is the hardest. You could have a therapist and all the other stuff, and it'll look different for everybody. For some people, it's therapy. For some people, it's finding that book that, like, blows their mind and opens their eyes to something, right? For some people will literally be like, "Oh, I had a kid and my whole outlook and my priorities totally changed." For some people, it's, "I definitely decided I will not have a kid and my whole outlook on everything and my priorities changed."
Yeah,
And that could happen over a week, it could happen over 2 weeks, and I was it's not like I never sat back and reflected before the 6-month break, like, I'd take a week off, a weekend off, and, like, have these conversations with myself, but I wanted to go deeper, and plus I had just started a new job, so I wanted to make sure that I was giving that my all and see how I felt about it, right? And, but yeah, therapy, same as you, therapy played a huge role in my, like, reviewing everything and seeing how I felt about stuff and what I could give versus what I was getting. Absolutely.
yeah, I had therapy and just coaching. I did the
Mhm,
coaching with, Healthy Gamer GG,
mhm,
so
mhm.
that was really nice. Just having somebody to talk to just helped so much. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to as well.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
and it could be your community members, it could be your mom, it could be a cousin you rarely talk to, it could be anybody. If
It
as long as
can.
you can listen,
Yes.
that's a huge, huge difference in how you feel. I don't know.
I'm gonna plus one that as long as they're consenting.
Yes, consenting,
Right?
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I know
You're
that's
like,
a
"Talk
hot
to me,
topic
I'm
too.
here to listen."
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear. Cool.
Yep,
I'm gonna
yep.
Gonna give it all to you.
Yeah, because are you sure? Because I'm about to it's about to be word vomit central here, so, yeah, be prepared. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, and along with you doing self-reflection, for 6 months, you also have ADHD and
Yep.
anxiety, you mentioned, and depression, you mentioned? Or no, just
No, yeah,
anxiety?
depression, ADHD, anxiety, that's my alphabet soup.
There
Yeah.
you go. Did those kind of make it more difficult for you to come back, dealing with that as well?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, I mean, thank you. Just thank. I know that seems. Thank you so much for asking because I think not enough people in this space take a little moment to talk about, the little things that are maybe different for people. So, yeah, as somebody who has ADHD and has depression, anxiety, there were different, I'm not saying it's harder or easier for somebody, but there were different layers for me in the burnout, in the self-reflection, in my decision to come back. Like all of those were a huge part of it. And recognizing, I think for a very long time, I thought of them as like, these are my limitations and it sucks. And somebody without depression can probably keep going and not experience as much burnout as I did, the way I did. And they probably stream more hours than I do and all of that. And recognizing that, like, okay, but that has nothing to do with you. You do have depression, you do have anxiety, and you do have ADHD. And nobody but you, me, is able to decide for you what your limits are, or they shouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah, and so yes, that was a huge I mean, that was a huge part of why I started streaming. It was a huge part of how my burnout may have affected me differently than somebody without those things. And it was a huge it's I mean, that's just every decision I make in my life. Like I decided I wanted to start a family. I knew I couldn't just go about and do it like somebody could. I knew that I had to think about my depression, how would that affect a kid? How, all the things that come with that. It was not going to be a simple, snap my fingers and make this work. At least the way I wanted it to. I'm sure you can. It's, whatever. To live your best life. But
Everybody's
yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, those are all pieces of it. I think specifically when it came to depression, that was the part that I worked through my therapist the most. It was specifically addressing those demons that are depression specific. Um, to like, how do I answer? Hey, I this stuff XYZ comes up a lot while I stream. Why? How? Those are all things that like coaches are awesome, best friends are awesome, your mom's great, whatever, but a therapist is really, how you get a lot of that work in. And the fact that therapy is not accessible is a whole other thing. And that's why we fundraise. But yeah, it was really, really, really critical in my recovery because of that. Um, yeah. And then but with I as I already mentioned, with all of those three things, being able to take a second and give myself the credit of like, yeah, stuff's different for you. That's not bad. That's not good. It's just that's the way it is for you. Now you have to figure out, the cards in your hand. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. You have to live with you. How are you going to do it in a way that's fulfilling to you? And that's all like a lot harder than it sounds.
It is. It is, and it's okay because you take the time to work through things that's comfortable to you, and make sure you communicate with the people around you, your
Yes.
boundaries, and what you're comfortable with. Period.
Yes.
Boundaries are so important.
Ooh, boundaries are they're a
Yeah,
hot topic of the day.
don't be afraid to set boundaries. Period.
Ooh,
If people
next
can't
time on
respect you,
Tiltify, oh my gosh, I could that's a
yeah,
whole
oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Ugh. But it's okay because I think we are all working through it, and it's okay. Just take time to, understand what are your boundaries and what makes you comfortable in any space you are in. It is so important. So
yeah,
important. Please.
yep. Yep.
So I'm just happy to have you today. You shared so much of your experience with our community, and I couldn't be more grateful. You are absolutely fantastic.
Thank you,
I
and
really adore you. So
thank you for
I'm just
giving
happy
me space and for,
yeah.
validating some of, my stuff, like, just thank you. You've been such a wonderful,
Oh, you're
wonderful host.
wonderful. I love your work, and I'm always gonna amplify it in every way, and Tiltify will definitely do the same. Like Izzy said earlier in chat, hold on, I need to bring it up. Even your tweets, are a bright spot on my timeline.
Oh,
So even Izzy, you're impacting me. And imagine all the other people you're impacting with just a simple tweet.
oh,
So, and or
my heart.
selfie or whatever it may be, you are the
Oh,
light. Again,
oh,
you live up to your branding. You
I'm
are the
trying. I'm trying.
boundaries help others love you in ways that register the best, in my opinion.
Oh,
Chef's
I like that. I love that. Oof, oof, bliffle, bliffle. Always with the philosophy. I love it.
kiss. I love it. I am so grateful that you again shared your experience because people are still struggling, with whatever they have going on. And again, like you said, I'm listening to somebody you look up to, hearing their experience, it makes people feel like, okay, that's normal for people to have. One of my favorite people are going through the same things,
Right. Yep.
so it's important to have these conversations. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, but it's important to have these conversations outside of May.
Yes.
Our mental
Oh
health
boy.
year 2058. We chatted with Ashleyna yesterday. She's
Mhm.
like, make sure you take care of your brain juices and your brain meats.
Ooh, I love that. Oh man, leave it to Ashley. All the snaps.
I said,
Ah,
oh my gosh, I'm using that tomorrow. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah, because it's beautiful. And it's surprisingly, yeah, after, Black people exist after February, gay people exist after June, and people with mental health issues exist after May. It's what a revelation, truly.
Yes.
Yeah,
And it is also Asian American Pacific Islander month too.
that's right, right.
So make sure you're taking the time to uplift those communities in any space they're in as well. So again, they have a month, but they are still that after this month. Okay. So make sure you're
That's right.
elevating them, supporting them, fundraise for different causes, for their cultures. And, it's Mental Health Awareness Month and it's also Play Live season. So you can fundraise for so many different causes on Tiltify. I'm telling you, if you just search up mental health as a keyword, there's so many causes you can choose from, and you can do your research, choose what you're most passionate about, and rally your community to do some good. As Anxiety said earlier, therapy is not accessible in a country, but we fundraise for these causes to, give these services for free, to write Love in Our Arms, so many other different causes. Okay. And if you want to if you want to find a cause to fundraise for Mental Health Awareness Month, you could do exclamation take action. So take some
Ooh,
action
yes,
today, rally your community, do some good. Okay. And I think it's really, really important, again, to do your research.
yes,
Research,
yes,
please.
please, yes, please, yes.
Military Appreciation Month as well. And we are trying
Oh,
to
see?
do so. Yep.
Okay.
Later this month. So I'm excited. May is so busy. Oh my God.
It is, it is.
So busy, so busy. Now, Mxiety, you can all find her on Twitch, and I'm gonna have her share her socials in just a minute. But we have our beautiful, beautiful Control Plus extension that you can hover over the stream and follow her directly on Twitch.
Ooh,
But Anxiety,
fancy.
where else can our folks find you on socials?
Amazing, thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, I don't stop talking on Twitter ever. And so if I'm not on Twitch, I'm on Twitter. I do have an Insta. I do have a TikTok, but I don't do them justice. The other thing is I try to update my website regularly with blog posts where I just like share what's going on with me, or if I find good resources that I find are trustworthy, I post them on there as well. So that's mxiety.com. That's also a great place if you ever feel like you want to reach out to me with questions related to fundraising and specifically mental health orgs and why I work with some orgs and how I pick who to work with, all that stuff. Super happy to answer those questions. Yeah, so that's that. Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. I am live on my page talking about all the things, so you can find me there. And that'll do it. That'll do it.
Anxiety everywhere. So keep up with her and all the amazing work she is doing and support her content. And welcome back from the hiatus. We're so happy to have you back.
Thank you, Ash. Oh gosh, you're
And,
the sweetest soul.
and
Thank you so much.
no, you are. And I got to get you that Starbucks tomorrow. So you give me your
Forget
email.
about it. Forget about it. Oh my
No,
gosh.
no, I am going to send you a gift card to get this beautiful drink for your cravings. Okay. You deserve
Oh,
it.
oh
Yes,
my
we're
gosh.
all happy to have her back. What a again, just a great force for this industry that we need. We need you. Okay. If you ever have a doubt in your mind, anxiety, people need you. We all need you in this industry because your work is crucial for content creators.
I'm
So
thank God I'm not alone because that's a lot of pressure. There's so many amazing mental health creators out there. So, but yes,
yes, they
yes.
are. We need them all.
We need
We
them all.
need
We
them
need
all.
them all. Thank you. Thank
We
you,
need them
girl.
all.
I didn't mean to. Did you see how I deflected? Just like pew, just in the
Yeah.
opposite. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay, I'll let it
I'm
slide.
good at it. I'm good at it. Uh,
But yeah, there's so many stigmas around mental health and talking about it. We're breaking down those barriers one
that's
chat at a
right.
time.
That's
So
right.
thank you for this chat today. I really appreciate you. And I hope we get to have you again on the channel because I absolutely adore you. I really,
Oh my
really do. And
gosh, feelings
I'm
mutual. Ash,
grateful.
thank you so much.
No, I'm just grateful we had this time together because we haven't spent time together at all. So
No, we've
I'm
always been
grateful.
like crossing ships in the
Yeah,
night,
we'll
whatever
do
that
this.
expression is. Yeah,
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 we'll do this. We'll make time. Sure. Okay,
yeah,
we'll make
yeah.
time. We're all busy.
That's just content creation in a nutshell, and like making friends in
Nice.
content creation.
Yes.
Period.
But
Yeah.
thank you for making time for us today. Anxiety, you're gonna find somebody for us to raid. Sorry.
Ooh, I am? Okay, okay, okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Do we
ooh,
have
okay.
any questions as well, like last minute questions for her
Mhm.
or me? Or any
Throw 'em
insights?
in?
You can share them in chat for sure. I know
Uh,
you
um,
had said, my therapist is the best. I have bipolar disorder, and my care team helps me make sure I am maintained and not only keeping my head above water, but soaring. I love that. That is amazing. I'm so happy you have the ability to have a care team too.
aw. Does it have to be somebody fundraising right now? What's the requirement? Is that like a
Someone cool. That's it.
someone cool?
If they're
Ooh.
fundraising, cool.
Right,
First,
I just don't know if they are, but we're going over to Jeff.
and you can,
Like, that's
Jack.
the
Oh,
yeah.
easy. There we
Come
go.
on, come on. I knew you'd be like, "Come on, let's go."
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
I was
That's
just like,
easy
"I
for
don't know
me.
if he's fundraising, if that's a
It's
requirement,"
okay.
but he does do
We
he
we
oh,
love
here we
it.
go. Here's how we're gonna connect it. Next week, we are doing a big fundraiser for Mental Health Action Day, and Jeff's gonna be on it. So there you
Oh
go.
my
There
gosh,
you go.
really? Oh, I'm excited. When is that? You said next Thursday?
That's next Thursday for Mental Health Action Day, 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel. There's going to be some really cool creators. We're going to be playing Jackbox and getting all kinds of silly. So I hope to see you
Oh
there.
my gosh. Okay. Everybody tune in next Thursday. Do you have a time for us?
7 p.m. Eastern, 7 to 9 p.m., 7 to 9, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Yay. We will be there. I will put down our Tiltify calendar so we can stop by and uplift. I'll do all the
Yeah.
things. So thank you for sharing. I didn't know about that. Good.
Yeah.
Yay.
I haven't announced it yet because it's one of those 4,000 things that I have to do.
Right. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
we're one of the first to know.
There you go. There. It's just an inside scoop. Totally meant that. So there.
Sugar said, I started seeing a therapist a few years ago for your anxiety and it's helped you so much. That's amazing. I love that.
Oh, I love
I love
that.
that. I simply do not know. Um, this is a discussion for another time. If I have anxiety or not, because I don't know, because anxiety is different for everybody,
Yeah. Mhm.
to make that clear. Like another
I
discussion
mean,
for
yeah.
later.
You
I'm
can
still
look into
looking.
it yourself, obviously, but,
Yeah.
a few doctors probably would give you a better idea, like going to
Right.
one, and then if you don't trust
Mhm,
them, going to it's a
mhm.
lot. It's a lot. That's the
It
worst
is
part
a lot,
about it.
but
Yeah.
if you can take the time to do it for yourself, do it. Okay,
Of
take the time.
course. Yes.
Okay, and there's free resources out there. Okay, free resources out there. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We're gonna go raid Jeff. We love Jeff. Jeff is playing Elden Ring. Oh, okay. This
That's
is gonna
gonna be
be
a big
great.
one. That's gonna be
Oh
good.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's go give Jeff some love. Okay. We have our raid message, but you can, spice it up with your own emotes if you like. Okay. As long as it says Tiltify raid, we are all set. So thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Eat some dinner, drink water, take care of yourself. Make sure you take your medicine. Okay. Med check. I like doing a med check. Take your medicine because some people forget. I'm reminding you. But take the time to take care of yourself tonight. Take a bath, take a bubble bath. Have your favorite snack. Treat yourself. So, have a
Treat
great
yourself.
rest of your Thursday. Anxiety, thank you so much for joining us again.
Pleasure's all mine.
This week.
Thank you.
We'll have you on the channel again, my dear. Everybody, have a beautiful evening. Stay safe out there, and we'll be live again next Wednesday. Bye, everybody.